Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. Today our group will present about the perched water table and groundwater equilibrium. So groundwater is one of the most important natural resources on earth. It provides fresh water for drinking, agriculture and industry, and also it supports to river and also the ecosystem even during dry season. So for this presentation, we need to understand how the groundwater behave, help us manage the resources sustainable. And for this presentation, we will explain how the perched water table forms and how the groundwater maintains in equilibrium within the subsurface environments. And we go to the next presenter.
Groundwater exists beneath the Earth's surface in soil pores and rock fracture. It is divided into two main zones. First, the unsaturated zone, where soil pores contain both air and water, and the saturated zone, where all pores are completely filled with water. The boundaries between these two zones is known as the water table. The water table level change depending on rainfall, soil type, and human activities such as pumping. The visual show diagram showing unsaturated and saturated zone, arrows showing water moving downward through soil. The level is water table boundary between unsaturated and saturated zone.
A perched water table is a small and localized zone of groundwater that forms above the main water table. It occurs when an impermeable layer such as clay or rock prevents water from seeping deeper into the ground. As a result, water accumulates above this layer, forming a temporary saturated zone known as a perched aquifer. This perched water may exist only for a short period depending on rainfall and evaporation.
This diagram illustrates how a perched water table forms. At the top, we see the ground surface and the saturated zone where water moves downward after rainfall. Below that, the water collects above an impermeable layer, forming a perched saturated zone. This zone is separated from the main water table by the impermeable layer, shown here as the clay line. The main groundwater lies deeper in the saturated zone below because the perched layer is shallow and limited. It can dry out quickly during dry seasons.
Next, we move to the concept of groundwater equilibrium. Groundwater equilibrium occurs when the rate of water entering the system, known as recharge, is equal to the rate of water leaving the system, called discharge. Recharge happens through rainfall infiltration, seepage from rivers, and irrigation returns flows. Discharge occurs when groundwater flows into springs, rivers, or wells. When recharge equals discharge, the water table remains stable. This is a balanced condition. However, when discharge exceeds recharge, the water table drops, leading to groundwater decline.
This diagram shows how groundwater equilibrium works. Rainwater infiltrates the ground, moving through the unsaturated zone into the saturated zone. We store groundwater. Some of this water then discharges naturally into rivers, springs, or is pumped through wells. When the inflow and outflow of groundwater are equal, the water table remains at the same level, showing a state of equilibrium. Maintaining this balance is essential for long-term water sustainability.
In conclusion, both the perched water table and groundwater equilibrium are important concepts in groundwater hydrology.
A perched water table forms when infiltrating water is stripped above an impermeable layer, creating a temporary and localized saturated zone.
Meanwhile, groundwater equilibrium represents a balanced condition where recharge equals discharge.
When this balance is disturbed, the water table may either rise or fall, affecting water availability and environment.
Understanding these processes helps us manage groundwater more effectively and prevent over-extraction.
By maintaining groundwater balance, we ensure that this vital resource remains sustainable for future generations. Thank you.